Ruben Loftus Cheek has been, in the past 3 weeks, our best midfielder.
The man played a quick 1-2.
Look.
The man played a quick 1-2 with Eden.
I'm not finished.
And scored
In fact, I'm
3
not
goals against Barte Bollopsov.
Let's move on to Chelsea then anyway, because it was another bit lackluster performance from you guys, man.
All I want to say, look, some people were talking about Instagram models.
Free smoke.
They was talking about Love Island. They was talking about he's not ready. They was talking about it's not 3 options, it's 2 options. They were saying Kovačić. And I'm here to tell you today that Ruben Loftus Cheek has been, in the past 3 weeks, our best midfielder.
The man played a quick 1-2.
Look.
The man played a quick 1-2 with Eden.
I'm not finished.
And scored
In fact, I'm
3
not
goals against Barte Bollopsov. And now all of a sudden this should be starting for Chelsea.
Man said he can't shoot, can't dribble, can't pass, gets nosebleeds.
Yeah.
I like
Man said no. He said he's too high up on the field. He said the altitude is
Taking
too
it to
high.
heart.
Look, I have sat on these couches.
Hey, it's different couches. It's different couches.
Because Ruben upgraded for us. Listen, I have dealt with people, and do you know what? The thing is, about Ruben Loftus Cheek, and I think, like in all seriousness, across the board, there is like there's a group of or section of people that I think support Chelsea that feel like they have no time for players that need to develop. They have absolutely no time for it.
time for Hudson.
But the difference is that he's 18, so you can see that they can see that kind of.
The man played a quick 1-2.
Look.
The man played a quick 1-2 with Eden.
I'm not finished.
And scored 3 goals against Barte Bollopsov.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santander.
For him to get better. That's been the problem with us. So when we had this conversation last time, the whole it's only 2 options is that we ain't got time for that guy. He needs to go home. Yeah. He needs to go on Love Island. He needs to go to play for Palace because he's not good enough for us. Yeah. And I think that mentality is so detrimental because he's now shown. And by the way, around that time he'd only played like 2 games, Europa League, bits and bobs like off the bench. But he barely played. He played for England and that was about it. So he looked very rusty. And in about 6 weeks, 8 weeks from whenever that was, probably less, he's shown what he can do. And for me, I find it incredibly frustrating, like, that we're going to do that again. There's going to be another one. There's going to be somebody else that we're going to dismiss who has the quality. He has the quality. If like, I'm not saying he's going to be the world's best. I don't even think he's our best midfielder. Like, I'm exaggerating, whatever. But he is more than capable of playing for us in the Premier League regularly and making it happen for us. Because the reality of the situation is, Kovačić ain't doing that. I'm not saying I don't know what his games. I don't know what he's on. Because I was like, I thought
I'm so disappointed in that kid.
He's a dickhead.
Did you call him a crook?
He's everything. I hate it. Everything. He's such a nothing player. Those are the worst players. They are the worst because he actually has talent as well. He can carry the ball, but he does nothing. He can't even pass forward. He's so frustrating.
He's a poser.
No, but
so frustrating.
When I watch Kovačić, like sometimes how where he receives the ball, what's in front of him, and then what he chooses to do, I'm just thinking. Like,
do you know what it is?
Ability.
It's the curse of the Real Madrid bench, mate.
No.
Morata was the same. We all thought Morata coming off the bench, scoring bare goals.
This guy has to be forced to pass forward. He will look sideways first, backwards next, and if he's forward, he will do it.
When he's a gun
Yeah,
to
but
his head to the
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, this system does not work still, and it's still evident. We're playing a very, very poor side today in Fulham, and the thing is with Kovačić is. Picking up the ball, he's dribbling with the ball and carrying the ball, that is what he's good at. But in this system, it needs options. You can't carry in this role and not have people around you capable of playing with you. No, but he literally sticks to Eden like glue and wants to play 1-2s with Eden throughout the whole game because Jorginho's sitting way too deep, and Kante so far away from play that it's not possible to play.
I'm not having. The reason why I'm not having that though is because back to my guy, RLC. When he comes, listen. When he comes on, like there's an intensity that he plays with when he picks up the ball.
Intensity.
The thing about
because he's getting 20 minutes when everyone's knackered. That is BS. Shit size like Fulham and Barty. This is what people are getting gassed.
Intensity is not something.
This is my problem.
Intensity is not a word I would use to associate with.
No. So this is what I'm saying. So listen, he's very languid. He can there's one of my everyone's.
Wait. Say that word again.
Languid.
You like that one?
Yeah. You're ridiculous. But he's someone that will walk kind of, or not so much I'd say in the past 2 games. So I think the Spurs game gave them a kick in terms of when we go into the Europa League game, the application off the ball was a lot better than it has been in previous games. But with regards to him, usually he is a little bit of a luxury centre mid in that he doesn't turn up until he gets the ball at his feet, which isn't good enough. Yeah. And you need a kind of someone that's buzzing around that wants the ball consistently, and then gets it and then injects that intensity. Yeah. So my thing for me is that off the ball previously, or not previously, but in earlier weeks in the season, he was very languid. He was very lackadaisical and laborious. Like he would just be walking around.
It's also just a tall, light skin.
No, just let me think. No, because this is my point. When he gets the ball and he applies himself, there is intensity. He does dribble. He does glide. And more recently, he's shown a bit more application in terms of now. Okay, I haven't got the ball. Where am I standing? How am I moving? And with that, you've then seen an injection that we haven't seen from Kovačić and that we haven't seen from Barkley.
He should have been thinking about that at the age of 10, not at 22.
No, but then you have
Where am I on? How am I going to take this card?
He's trivialising everything. I'm not going to do this again.
What the hell is this?
Where should
I be?
He's got your number, you know. He's got your vein. The vein, yeah.
He's in my head. He's living there rent free.
He is a grown-up man. Where should I be?
That is so disgusting.
That's nasty. That's nasty. That's nasty.
You are so foul.
So Sean, agenda aside.
I've not got an agenda. He's
You
just shit.
You sure do.
I don't have an agenda.
You're saying where should I be? He's playing under a new system.
No.
Like
All
when
right,
they train, they like players are gonna be in set places. Like they'll be in set places. So Ruben has to know where to be. Like in a new system. You do.
And away from
same
that,
way, if you play under Pep Guardiola, you need to know where to be. You need to know where you're gonna receive the ball. You need to know how you're gonna receive the ball. Like he's not just playing 4-4-2. Go home.
My thing, but like with that in mind, I think if you can't see that, if people are looking, like for instance, you did look at him in the first Europa League game, or looked at him sometimes when he was playing for England. If you can't see a little bit of a progression in terms of how he moves off the ball to receive and how much the slight added intensity in those movements, then I think you're just like taking the mick a little bit. And
he's playing against Hleb.
Look, I'm not disputing. Look, but
and he's played against Fulham.
This is what I mean. I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that the performances have come against like poor sides. But what I'm trying to say is that there's been a progression in him as an individual. So this is even away from stuff that he's doing on the ball. He looks a bit more switched on.
Have you not seen this, Sean?
No, he's improved from literally doing nothing because like he was.
But isn't that that's my point though? That he wasn't doing enough.
Yeah, but this is the thing though, Plumi. I'm a Chelsea fan that wants to win. I want to win things. I want to win titles. I want to win Champions Leagues.
Yes.
I want to win all of that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yes. I don't have the time to see a guy.
I'm full Roman.
You're full Roman. I don't say that. There's a section of fans.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, but this is what I said.
Despite all.
No, this is what I'm saying. No. There's a section of fans that feel like they don't have that time. Yeah. But in the years that we have been successful, there has also been a ton of rubbish buys, of misallocation of resources that could have been invested into people like him that could have then, played. So let's just put it like this. Let's just say Kovačić leaves. We give Ruben and Barkley that one slot, yeah? That to me isn't awful. And then we slap 75, for instance, on a forward, and then a further 50 on a right winger.
All right.
To me, that makes more sense than going to buy another crappy centre mid for 30.
Yeah.
And then
Kovačić is 50 if you buy him.
See, look, and isn't that what happened before? God. Isn't it just a repeat of what's been happening with us? That we misallocate our resources.
I think we just got poor scouting. I think we got.
Palumi's making sense. Come on.
I know what you're saying about giving people opportunities, but I think Ruben's shows such slow progression. It's not like as if you see a bit in him and he's just getting a bit unlucky with certain things, or maybe he needs a couple of games. He just looks like very slow progression, and I ain't got time for slow progression.
Even if he needs
to show something fresh and lively.
Even if you made that argument,
I've got time for Hudson.
Yeah, but
I
even
ain't got time for Loftus.
If you made that argument, the only thing I'd say is you then have to consider that I think I saw a stat today that he's only played 60 professional games. And that's some of that is a byproduct of the fact
50 starts for 50 games for
and
Premier League. Yes.
And some of that is a byproduct. He's 22. That's a byproduct of the fact that when Jose was here, when Conte was here, there was it's not like I'm not blaming them. No, actually I am. Blame them. If not for the mistreatment, if he was integrated a lot better, he would have had a lot more games under his belt. Tactically, he'd be a lot further along. The year that he had at Palace, that wasn't slow progression. That was if you saw the Loftus Cheek that went in the pre-season under Frank de Boer to the Loftus Cheek that went to the World Cup, and then you just look at that timestamp and then you look at the Loftus Cheek that's gone from the World Cup to now. To me, that's a decent enough bit of growth to show you.
Palace side with Frank de Boer was horrible.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that even then, within that, he was able to showcase what he could do. And then when Hudson came in, initially it was a slow start, he got injured, but again there was a more progression. And now, like I'm saying, from Europa League September when he first started to now, again there's a bit more progression. So for me, the slow progression is more impatience from you as opposed to him not actually growing or improving in the manner that I feel like he should be.
No, but I think it's the fact that, like you're saying about when you're going out there and you're like people like the Madisons who are starting for lesser sides in the league, showcasing their abilities. That is once they do that for 2 years, 3 years, and show consistency, because this is what we all want from certain players. We want consistent performances. So for you to give him the opportunity to go to someone like Crystal Palace, Leicester, whoever in the league, Bournemouth, whatever, go there, showcase, show us ability, and then you can come into the team once you've got that level of fitness. That level of
no.
It isn't because
there's a big difference.
Jadon Sancho, everyone's hyping about Jadon Sancho. He's at a side that doesn't really. He's playing football for a side.
Years old. That's the difference between
exactly.
RLC.
But they haven't got they don't expect to win the league.
Okay,
but
they don't expect to win the league. These players need to
7 points.
No, I know, but they don't expect knowing that how buying up.
Even
these players don't expect to win the titles with these teams. He needs experience.
My point,
needs to go
exactly.
To a
so my point is that
he don't need to be starting at Chelsea.
At 22, he's only made just over like half a century of appearances. That's poor.
Yeah, but that's kept him there.
Exactly. So that's their fault first of all. Yeah. So now we're punishing him for the fact that the managers previously have kept him in and around the first team, which is the same thing that's going to happen to Hudson Odoi, because since the start of the season, I think he's played like 3 development games, and I don't think he's played over twice for us. Or over 3 times for us. Okay. So now what's the difference between what we're doing to Hudson Odoi in that he's not even playing youth football. He's not playing youth football.
He's going through the same thing.
This is my point, that when if he gets to 21, God forbid.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Talking about in Chelsea
not like that. I mean,
easy.
If he gets to 21 with us, and he's in Loftus Cheek's same position, God forbid. Goodness me.
You have to clarify these things, you know?
You let me finish. Or maybe I use it in the wrong context. But anyway, like if he gets to that point, then we're gonna be sitting here having the same conversation.
Yeah, but
what my point is that there's been a mismanagement of him up until this point. And since he's then kind of been plugged into the football system. So what you're saying about like Maddison, that's fair enough. But Maddison came up at Coventry.
Playing football.
Then and that was from like 18. Then he's gone Norwich. Norwich didn't play him, and it was like mid-table. He had to go. He went to Aberdeen. I think he scored a worldy like free kick. I remember like he went from January to July, like 2 seasons ago. He's done that. He couldn't get into Norwich's team. That's mismanagement. Yeah, but as he's done that, he's come back. He's been integrated after the Aberdeen loan. He's been brought in. To then have the season that you're talking about, to then have the 2 years at Norwich, to now have the year at Leicester that you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's at Leicester.
But my point is that even Norwich were they brought someone in from sent them out on loan, didn't use them correctly, and it didn't take them up until 2 years for him to find his feet. But the key is that after that loan, he was integrated. So my point is, this is now Loftus Cheek's time to be integrated.
Into a Chelsea side, expecting to win a league title?
But then the premise
with 50 league games in his career.
That's
what's hard. What you think that's good enough? This is why City are 20 points clear by.
But it's
by
not.
March.
But this is why City are playing Foden though.
No, they don't play Foden.
When
do they play Foden?
They'll play Foden.
When is Foden getting a game in this Man City side?
He plays for City.
He don't play in the league though.
No, he don't. He's integrated,
All
right?
right, yeah, but that's not integration. Palumi wants integration in the starting lineup. It's not good enough. What is the problem?
Do you want Loftus Cheek to start?
Of course he is. What do you think he's implying? He gets games in the EFL Cup and he gets games in the Europa League.
Now listen. So now this point, you say. My point is that once these things have happened, so they've done their loans, they've done their time in it. He's done.
He ain't done his time.
My point is
50 games ain't time.
No, but my point. Hold on. My point is that with the mismanagement in mind, he's now 22.
Yeah, but you can't be accepting of mismanagement.
Let me finish. My point is that with that in mind, he's gone on loan. He's come back. He's now played in the games that you're talking about. The games that against considerably lesser teams. Yeah, fine. He's done well in them games. Yes or no?
Just 2 games. Yeah.
Okay, he's done well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, there should be some element of meritocracy, so that once you've played well in them games, there's then an opportunity for you to now showcase your talent in the Premier League. I
don't see what's hard about. He's 22 years old. Even if he was to go on a season or even 2 seasons and come back at 24. Do people think
I don't think that's bad. Oh, no, Sean, I'm not
disputing. People think 24 is old.
That's
for you to come back and light it up for 5-6 years.
That is a
last point on this. Let's move on.
That's a potential route, yeah. But my point is, within that time now, with what we know Chelsea do, after that 2 years, or even now, in that 2 years, what do you reckon Chelsea are going to do?
I think
they'd sign another midfielder.
Will
they not?
Yeah,
and the
likelihood we'll sign another midfielder. We'll sit him down, and he's going to just be fizzled out, and then be bought by a mid-table club.
Okay, that's fine. But my point is that what will end up happening for me, or what we've done in the past, is that we buy players that don't have half as much potential as some of the boys we've let go, and within that.
You spend a shitload of money on them.
And then they're crap, and then they go, and then they're off to AC Milan, or they're sitting on the bench or sitting in reserves with a number 6 shirt, and they played.
I heard he played well today, though.
No. Who's that? You drink water?
Bakayoko.
You go.
Against Parma.
I don't care if he plays sick. He shouldn't be here.
He's been doing better recently, but then again,
it's Serie A, isn't it? It's Serie A.
We're shit until we change the system anyway.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santander.